Three, two, one. Today I finally reached the level where I can explain to you how to create the best loadout in Nier Reincarnation. So I'm gonna get right into the content right now. So okay, I'm gonna focus more for quests here than arena since I haven't actually done arena yet. But I can explain quests pretty easily. So getting into this, you can have 3 characters. And I'm gonna make a video about weapons all in of itself later. But characters basically they go from, I believe, 1 star to 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, and I believe even 5 stars, which is one thing you're gonna want to make sure that you're watching out for, because the higher the stars are, the better the stats are gonna be. Also, the level of your character will make a big difference on the battlefield as well, along with what weapon they use. And you can see what weapon they use just by the top of their, the top left side of their character icon, which somebody in a recent video asked me about. So that's how you know what weapon to use. So I'm using Akeha, and she uses greatswords. So I would obviously want to use a greatsword for the best performance, and preferably one that has the typing advantage over what I'm going against in the quest. So and a little bit of a spoiler warning here, but we're gonna go to, say I am going against a dark affinity type, or a dark element type. I'm gonna want to use light to combat it, so we're gonna want to make sure that we're using weapons that are of the light force, or the light element. So, and also the elements play a huge role in making your overall loadout the most optimized it can be. So make sure you're using a weapon that has the advantage and also is compatible with your character. Not compatible, but is for your character, because that's the best weapon they're going to be able to use. So again, Akeha can use greatswords, so I'm going to want to use greatswords as my primary. In my personal opinion, your character and your primary are the most important parts of your loadout. And you don't have to use 3 characters if you don't want to. You could easily just use just 1 if you wanted to, but I wouldn't recommend it. Also, a very important step when we get into our loadout here, you guys are going to notice that we have secondaries. So a lot of people are a bit confused on what secondaries are, since you can't actually use them in battle. Secondaries are like memoirs, and you equip these secondaries to get extra bonuses. As you guys can see, I had the beast sword equipped, but if I wanted to use another weapon, it looks like it's going to be bringing my stats down lower. And this basically, secondary weapons just help add some extra stat bonuses and buffs to your characters. With 2B, I'm using. Also, make sure you're using the same weapon type as your character with your secondaries, just because it helps more, I believe. So that's what secondary weapons are for. You don't actually use them in battle. They're just there to help power up your regular weapon. Now for your companion. So companions are pretty cool, because they're like an extra attack you can add on, and they charge up just like regular attacks. So I'm using, what the heck is this thing called? Solace, because he is a light type, which is going to be good to go against dark. And there's multiple types of typings you can use for companions. Say you want to use fire, I have, what is this, ground and earth, heaven and earth, dragon garnet, and bear precious for fire, and I have bear patch for water, and then I have Sayuri for dark. So make sure that you do take some time to go through your build and make sure that you're using the best typing advantages you can, and also have things matched up. Also, the level of your weapons in secondary and primary will make a difference, so do keep that in mind. And always make sure that if you can, use the highest star weapon you can, just because they have usually the best stats, and using it with a same star character or higher is going to help buff you up even more. So now for memoirs. So memoirs are like, I want to say, like, basically like they're like secondary weapons. or I was gonna say runes from Bloodborne, but that wouldn't make any sense. So you guys might notice here that these have up arrows next to the icon, which means that they're good to use with your character or within the corresponding story. So say that, and actually if you are using a character that is a part of the story, then using the memoirs from their story, like say meetings, is gonna be a good idea for Akahe or Akeha. We also have ones for the Alpha. Actually, I don't know what this guy is. The guy from the Winter Mountain story, the girl, and the guy from the previous story I played. We have a few more up here. So yeah. Also, they don't have to be from the characters. Don't have to be from the stories to get the advantage. If we look at 2B here, the Praying Battler, we can use ones from my previous story I played to get an advantage as well, which is good. So those extra buffs that Memoirs give you allow you to power up your character even more to bring up your force. And your total force is going to really imply your victory. As you guys can see, if I pick anything else, it's going to lower my stats or make them higher, but usually the one that has the higher arrow or the arrows on it is going to be the best bet for that character. So I pretty much just put together the Departed Gunman. As you guys can see, his storyline, obviously you're going to want to use him, use a gun, and his memoirs are pretty much ready to go. But I shouldn't really have to explain the affinity compatibility or how typings work. Fire beats grass, grass beats water, water beats fire. Light and dark both beat each other, which is kind of weird, but I guess it is what it is. So now for total force. So I've mentioned in my tips video that your total force is something you're going to want to watch out for before you start a battle or story. Because if we look here, it's going to, if I tap here on the Scarecrow, it's going to say that the suggested force is 27,500. My total force, however, is 29,453, which is higher and obviously better than the suggested force. And I recommend you go higher than the suggested force, just to make it a bit easier on yourself. But yeah. Also, if you want to see what enemies you're up against in the quest story, you can go right here. So we have Senior Officer. His elements is Dark. Skills strike all party members and inflict blindness on enemies. Skills also strike one party member and lower enemy defense. So yeah, status effects that I've seen in this game is mostly blindness, which basically, if I remember correctly, is when a purple ring appears above your player's head and they miss a lot of attacks. But I think that's it. I want to make sure I got everything, obviously. So let's go back to my loadout. And yeah, my gunman's probably gonna get creamed because his level and stars are pretty bad. So I might actually switch him up a bit. So I guess just for the sake of the video, I'll just pick. I know a lot of people are gonna hate me for this. I'm gonna pick A2, and then we'll use total force 30,000. All right, cool. All right, so A2, I'm obviously gonna want to use Great Swords for. Also, your weapon level is, again, extremely important. I think I've already mentioned that before, so let's see. I know I have like another one. Here we go. No shit, it's a dark weapon though. I don't really have any more light since I'm using them as. Oh wait, there's a light. All right, cool. And it's not being used by Ahaka or whatever her name was, like Keha. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it. I don't really have any more giant light great swords. So what I'm gonna do here, and also these do help stack your weapon buffs as well, which is good. But I think what I'm gonna do is, okay, if it's in deck you can't use it. I think just for this I'm not gonna I don't really have any other great swords that are light that aren't in use right now, so I guess I'll just use grass. It's not like grass is gonna be effective. It's not like it's gonna be weak against it. And if it is weak against it, good luck, because you're gonna need it. You're not gonna do enough damage. Alright, there we go. Apparently this Memoir still powers her up, probably because of the triangle that's being made. The triangle overall brings your force points up high, and force points are king, along with the many other various things I mentioned. But now, without any further ado, we're going to get into a battle here. So, looks like it's actually going to be a story. But I basically just want to make a quick video explaining how everything worked as far as your loadout is. This is of course for the quest. I will end up making one for the arena in the future. If you guys want to see that, do be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to never miss a video. Be sure to like if you enjoyed or found value from the content. I love all of you, and sayonara.